Here at Paul Ricard for round 7 of the World Championship of 1988, the French Grand Prix. The Paul Ricard circuit is fast. It has a lap speed of 125 miles an hour, and that favours the turbo cars. And they are very much in command after 6 rounds of the World Championship, with the McLarens of Prost and Senna well ahead of Berger's Ferrari. Then a tie for 4th between Boutsen and last year's world champion Nelson Piquet. But Nigel Mansell, who won here last year, has yet to score a point.
Now, McLaren are leading the Constructors' Championship by a massive 51 points ahead of Ferrari. And third equal are Lotus and Benetton with 12 points. Fifth are Arrows, and in 6th position, the Tyrrell team with 5 points.
On form, then, it has to be Prost or Senna for victory today, and Prost means to be number 1 on his home ground.
Ferrari continue to be in disarray with major personnel changes. Harvey Postlethwaite, the British engineer who's been with the Prancing Horse for 5 years, has left and is joining Ken Tyrrell's team on August the 1st.
Well, I kept hearing rumours that Harvey wasn't happy at Ferrari, and I thought that, we need to improve the quality of our engineering generally, and so Harvey is the start of that. We aim to do more in the next couple of months. The design of the new car is entirely in his hands, and Brian Miles is staying on as chief engineer, and he's very happy about that.
Although we're not yet halfway through the season, a major talking point is who's going to be driving for Ferrari next year. Nigel Mansell is known to have talked to them.
It's a very difficult question. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a professional. I've got to see this year out first. We've got another 10 races, including this one this weekend, and we're not even halfway through the season yet. I don't want to even think about next year. There's a lot to do this year yet.
And the hot news is that a press conference Nigel's called for next Thursday may well be to announce that he has already signed for Ferrari.
2 teams have scored their first ever World Championship points in Detroit. The all-new German Real, designed by Gustav Brunner and driven by Andrea de Cesaris, which finished 4th. And Minardi, who, after 56 Grand Prix, at last got a car home in the first 6, with returnee Pierluigi Martini at the wheel.
Pole position, Alain Prost. Glad to be back in Europe. It's his first pole of 1988. He leads the World Championship, and he means to win here. Second on the grid, Ayrton Senna. It's the first time this season in 7 races that he has not been in pole position. Then it's the 2 Ferraris of Gerhard Berger and Michele Alboreto. Nigel Mansell is 9th, Derek Warwick is 11th. Jonathan Palmer is 23rd, and sadly, Julian Bailey has again failed to qualify. Everybody is in position. There come the 2 cross cars in the background. And away, good start by Alain Prost. Everybody has got away cleanly. Now down to it's Prost leading, Berger 2nd, Senna in 3rd position, Alboreto in 4th place, Nelson Piquet in 5th position. Then it is Boutsen in the Benetton, followed by Nannini, and it looks to me as though they have indeed all managed to thread their way round that very tricky first right-hander. Now there's another right-hander into the Mistral Straight. That is Larini bringing up the back. The 2 McLarens are leading. It's Prost in 1st position. Senna has got up into 2nd, ahead of Berger and Alboreto. Piquet is 5th, Boutsen is 6th, Nannini is 7th, and Nigel Mansell is 8th.
Yes, and Prost got a marvellous start. He got those rear tyres alight nicely off the line, and he's exactly where he wants to be in what is probably for him the key race of the season. Key, obviously, because it's very important for him to win in France and on his home ground, but more importantly, because to win the championship, Senna, having come away with a couple of wins over Prost in North America, he urgently needs to re-establish himself to get a firm lead in the World Championship.
And at the end of that first lap, Prost already has a lead of 1 second over Senna. I know it doesn't sound very much, but it's a lot after just 2.4 miles. There's Nakajima well down the field as they stream down the short straight, which leads out on the Virage de Pont. And there is Alain Prost leading now. Berger will already be watching, I suspect, his fuel meter, because fuel consumption is going to be very critical for the Ferraris. But it's Prost, Senna, McLaren. There's Berger. Behind him, Michele Alboreto, the first four. So it's two McLarens leading two Ferraris. In fifth position, Nelson Piquet, and the Lotus Honda has been going much better in practice here for the French Grand Prix than it was at Detroit, for instance. Gerhard Berger with Senna well in sight as they go round l'Épingle of the left-hander into Bendor, the right-hander, then on to La Tour, down to the Virage du Pont, the very tight right-hander which leads into the start and finish straight, coming through to complete lap 2 out of 80, and Alain Prost's lead over Senna has increased to 1.5 seconds. There is Alessandro Nannini, 7th position, ahead of Nigel Mansell, who is followed by Nakajima, who is definitely holding up the cars behind him. But it's heartwarming that Nigel Mansell is going well in this position. And there was a spin. Either Cheever or Warwick has spun in the background there. We'll let you know as soon as we know ourselves. And that's Nigel Mansell.
And that would have to be classified as a bad mistake, really, because to spin the car coming out of a second gear corner one would have to class as bad concentration, unless, of course, something broke on the car or something went wrong, and that I would think is quite a strong possibility, because be it Warwick or Cheever, they're both very experienced, and I would be surprised if they had made error of their own at such a relatively innocuous second gear corner.
So that was Boutsen. Here is Nannini, followed by Mansell, and Mansell is in 8th position. In fact, on lap 13, race order, Alain Prost 2.8 seconds ahead of Senna. Then Berger about 5 seconds behind Senna, and about 3 seconds ahead of Alboreto, who is 4th. Piquet is 9 seconds behind Alboreto in 5th position, closely followed by Boutsen. Nannini is 7th, Mansell is 8th. Nakajima is 9th, with a crocodile behind him, the Arrows, and then Capelli and De Cesaris, and it was Derek Warwick who spun. There is the proof in the background, and there going past is Eddie Cheever's Arrows, so Derek Warwick is, as far as I can check, the first retirement from the French Grand Prix. It is, and that is lap 13. And here is, into the pits comes Larini, Nicola Larini in the Osella, and there is no frantic activity round the wheels. I'm looking across the pits to see if I can see what's happening, but there's too many people round the car. And Nakajima has been passed by Nigel Mansell, who has therefore gone up into 7th place, 1 place out of the points. As you watch Alain Prost leading on lap 19, followed by Ayrton Senna. Behind them in 3rd position, it is Gerhard Berger. 4th is Michele Alboreto. 5th is Nelson Piquet. 6th is Alessandro Nannini. 7th and almost in the points, Nigel Mansell, and that is Boutsen's Benetton being wheeled out of the race. An unlucky French Grand Prix for the Belgian. The problem with Boutsen's car is the black box, the electronic control unit, which controls many of the functions in the engine, and the black box is being changed, so no doubt he will be out in the race later. Here is Jonathan Palmer, who is in 17th position, who has, of course, been lapped, followed by Martini. Alboreto is up into 3rd position. Into the pits comes Berger. Gerhard Berger, who was in 3rd position on lap 22, into the pits. Tyre stop. The usual flurry of activity as the pneumatic grips get to work. So Berger stops for tyres on lap 23 and takes just over 8 seconds to do so. That will by no means be the last tyre stop we're seeing in the